fans to Pro Wrestling International's Wrestling Fever. This week we have a very special edition lined up for you, in which we'll be taking a look back at some of the matches that have taken place here over the past few months. Sort of a winter review, so to speak. For this special occasion, I'm joined by the two gentlemen you see. To my right, Mr. Dave Yearwood, and to my left, Mr. Dallas James. We'll be bringing what we feel are some of the highlights and possibly some of the lowlights of these matches. And I'm sure as ringside commentators that the two of you certainly have some input. Is there anything that comes to mind right away from either of you?
Well, this is our chance to go back looking at a lot of the action that has transpired here in the PWI in the last couple months, as well as kind of springboarding us into the future and events yet to be seen. And someone who's very involved in the events that have transpired here in the PWI, as well as what's going to be happening in the future, is my co-host at ringside, Dallas James.
And we'll be right back with our first highlight. Well, guys, I don't know about the two of you, but one thing that really stands out in my mind is that a lot of the wrestlers have introduced their own unique moves. For instance, we've had the Thunderbomb from Lightning Rod, the Roadblock Buster from Big Rig Rollins. Any others that, does that seem to be the...
Well, quite a few of the wrestlers do have their own, what you could say, patented moves. You've got Gentleman Johnny Walker with that patented cactus jam of his. We've got the Jurassic Jam with T-Rex. One of the newer moves we've now seen is the Wrecking Ball with the new team of Heavy Construction. And then one of the aces has a move of his own, the Dice Man with the tumbling dice.
Now, what was that? Jurassic Jam?
Cactus
Jam. Maybe one of these guys come up with peanut butter and jam, I don't get it. It just, everybody has to label themselves with a move. I don't do anything like that. I give them a pile driver and it's over with. Give them a clothesline. I don't come up with the James Jam or anything like that. That makes no sense. I just don't understand that. Oh,
Wouldn't
well.
that Jim
That's just another way of trying to get their name up a little bit higher. Let your talent do it. Now you talk about Dice Man Ronnie Vegas with the tumbling dice. Well, he's a little bit more flamboyant. I used to wear the robe. I used to be more flamboyant, but I went back to kind of my roots, and that's just not my style anymore. But we've seen a lot of these moves take out a lot of wrestlers here in the past few months. A man by the name of the Lone Ranger from the past took out Gentleman Johnny Walker. Isn't that odd, though, to see Walker now as one of the aces? Isn't that odd, how things transpire?
I'm a little surprised by that one.
We've seen quite a few taken out.
Yeah, that, like you mentioned, we have seen a lot of wrestlers who maybe have been injured during, so to speak, the line of duty, during their matches, or even, as in the instance of Diamond Dan, outside of the ring, attacked by a masked assailant. But we've seen a lot of courage from these wrestlers also as they come back into the wrestling. I think one of the ones that really seems to stand out as far as the most courage that I've seen was Diamond Dan with his comeback.
Diamond Dan?
Yes, Diamond Dan.
Courage?
Courage. He had wrestlers who, well, later we found out was a wrestler, wearing a mask, attacking him as he was trying to go into his match with another opponent, sneaking up behind, attacking him under disguise, all this. But yet he comes back to get his revenge on that same assailant. That signifies courage to me.
That signifies stupidity to me. He come back when the match was going on. That was during the tag team tournament.
Yes, it was.
And he come back after he had his knee literally just taken apart with a steel chair, and he comes back to help Quicksilver in that tag team tournament and ended up losing.
Doesn't that signify devotion to your partner?
Stupidity, I'll say it again, stupidity. Every dog will have his day, as they say down in Texas. That's fine. If Diamond Dan wanted to come back and get him, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But that wasn't obviously the day because you've seen what happened to him. In fact, I think we're going to see little bit later in the show, or maybe now. Heck, I don't know. We're going to see what happened to him.
Why don't we go ahead and take a look at that match featuring Diamond Dan?
Courage, stupidity.
Led by none other than superstar TJ Powers. And here we have a vicious attack. Who's this masked man on the outside here? Working Diamond Dan over there. He's got a chair outside the ring here. Diamond Dan viciously being attacked. Who is this dastardly man from the outside? He still can pull from within. The fans here we see coming to the ringside. Diamond Dan working his way back up on ringside. This is truly amazing, the power that within these wrestlers. Quicksilver maintaining for this time. Diamond Dan has made his way back into the ring, but I don't see how he's going to be able to make much of a concerted effort here. Quicksilver moving out of the way from the Ninja there. Quicksilver trying to make his way over to Diamond Dan. Not making the tag, and I'm not sure if making the tag would do him any good with the damage that had to be done to the knee of Diamond Dan by the masked man who came early into the match before things got started here. The Professor digging in with his version of the bow and arrow. Painful move here. Not many wrestlers could hold out on this. Quicksilver still shaking off referee. Telling him no way. And the Quicksilver rolls out and getting the cover of his own. Professor kicks out though. Quicksilver worn down, making his way over to Diamond Dan. Gamely making his way into the ring here. Immediately goes to work on the head of the Ninja. Sets him up off the ropes. Vicious elbow takes the Ninja off the mat. Both men down, and which one's going to get up? And the Ninja takes karate kick to the chest of Diamond Dan. Now pounding away at the back, dragging Diamond Dan to the center of the ring, and immediately attacking that wounded leg that he left the arena with not about minutes ago after that brutal and vicious attack from the unknown man, the unknown assailant, probably one of TJ's men from the back room.
The gold will belong to the Ninjas. There's no doubt in Superstar's mind that gold belongs to the Ninjas.
Right there you hear it, TJ telling you why he's here with the Ninjas, because he believes they're going straight to the top. Right there, Diamond Dan showing that he's still got it within, almost having to cover, but the Ninja, Shadow Ninja 2, enters the ring and breaks up the pinfall. Well, that really does show a lot of courage on behalf of Diamond Dan. He really made a comeback here, bringing himself around, whipping himself back into shape after such a devastating injury he received there from that masked assailant. And that really leads us in probably to the next category. If we've just looked at the courage in the PWI, now we're going to look at some of the cowards. Some of these cowardice
Wait a minute,
actions.
what are you looking at me for?
Something must have flown by and just distracted me.
Well, first of all, I think we could look just primarily at many of the masked wrestlers here in the PWI. We've seen, it seems like we've had an overabundance of them here in the past couple of months. They just seem to be coming out of the woodwork, one masked wrestler after another. But the ones that have really taken the toll here in the PWI are the masked assassin and this masked assailant. One of them stalking the PWI heavyweight champion, Bobo Brazil Jr., and this other one who was stalking and came out and put Diamond Dan out of action for quite some time. Now, where that leads us to is probably...
And who was that? Who was that man attacking Bobo? Who was the brains behind that?
Well, probably one of the shocks of the year for the PWI, gentleman Johnny Walker.
Saw the light.
Saw the light.
Blinded was more of the answer.
Yep.
I don't think it was light that was blinding him, though.
Hey, the man wouldn't give him a title shot, so he went out and he took one. And it's coming up very soon.
Speaking, Well, we'll be talking about somebody that took advantage here a little later on. But right now, getting back to the person, the wrestler that I feel has shown the biggest yellow streak this year.
Be careful.
In the PWI is the man who, time after time, verbally assaulted the man from the Windy City, the Lightning Rod, constantly calling him names, degrading him as if, you know, a lowly lifeguard, and then signing for matches and not showing up. Talking about none other than the superstar, TJ Powers. One of your former partners, Dallas. Superstar TJ Power had a series of matches signed with Lightning Rod, and somehow he never seemed to show.
The man was injured.
He was injured.
The man had an injured wrist. They signed one match, had an injured wrist. Now, he's suspended. And you're going to sit there and say he's got a yellow streak? Well, he can't show up if he's suspended.
And what brought about the suspension?
Well, we're not really sure. The commissioner, or the former commissioner, just made a statement that due to his actions, he was suspended. I mean, that's pretty vague. I see now why the board of directors have overturned some decisions that ex-commissioner made.
I think it's time for us to take a look at the action that brought about this suspension. Let's take.
Has it got anything to do with this man again?
Well, I tell you what. Here's what I know. Of course, we've all been waiting for TJ Powers, superstar TJ Powers.
You bet the fans have been
Lightning
waiting.
Rod, but I understand TJ is injured.
Injured? What are you telling
Well,
us?
that's all I know, and I guess Mr. Jam there.
What
is his name?
Jimmy Jam.
Jimmy Jam.
The ring announcer, Jimmy
I thought it
Jam,
was peanut butter and jam.
been handed a note by the international playboy. Johnny Lee again has stuck his nose into
He
someone
bought
else's.
the right. He bought.
He's always full of
He
surprises.
brought another. Bought or brought? Which was it?
Well, as
Maybe
Jimmy
both.
Jam just said, he's always full of surprises. It's definitely not TJ Powers music.
No. Could be my brother. I wanted to see
God.
TJ.
Ladies
Oh,
and
are
gentlemen,
you
Johnny
believing
Lee's
this?
brought
Oh, Lord.
to this main event.
Look,
The Dice
Dallas.
Man.
Vegas.
back again. Long time gone. Back again.
Ronnie Vegas.
Under the tutelage of the international playboy Johnny Lee.
In the tournament final. Hey, we bought the rights.
Slingshot into the corner there by a lightning
Now
rod.
what's Lightning Rod doing hitting Johnny Lee?
Sending a lightning bolt into the corner there to take out manager Johnny Lee, who was getting a little too close to the ring, as you've already witnessed a few times in this match already.
Now look at him. He's on the outside chasing the manager. He's got no business. Johnny Lee is not in there. And you see it's
He better
gonna cost
watch
him.
out. Assaulted from the back there by the Dice Man, taking
That'll
him
teach
into
him.
that iron tree in the corner of the wrestling ring there. The Dice Man taking it to Lightning Rod now.
Well, that's what he gets. He
Distracted
didn't have
by
no
Mr.
business
Lee.
going out there.
No business for Mr. Lee. He should have. I'm telling you, we need to get a letter. I'll listen.
That away,
to him.
Ronnie. Give him the tumbling dice. Get it over with.
Listen to him there. But we need to get some letters sent in by the fans here in the PWI to see if we can get the commissioner to oust Mr. Lee right out of
Huh?
the PWI.
He's not done anything wrong.
I think if we back the monitor tape up here and take another look here, or maybe later on we replay this, you'll see what Mr. Lee's been involved in here. And we may have a cover right here. Well, Lightning Rod unable to keep.
He was pulling his tights there. He'd never pinned him if he hadn't had hold of the tights.
Well, Lightning Rod.
Dice
taking it
Man's
to-
just resting. He'll be all right. See?
Reversal by Dice Man off the ropes and a boot to the chest of the Dice Man. And there he is, the storm clouds are burning, and there he is. Superstar TJ Power injured. I ask you, Mr. James, did that look like an injured TJ Powers to you?
He was limping. Pro Wrestling International live on Friday, May the 5th at 7:30 p.m. at the Benedictine Center at 1402 East Southern Avenue in Beech Grove. This is a fundraiser for the Hispanic Center, Cinco de Mayo. The Slamabration will take place 7:30 on Friday, May 5th. Ringside tickets are $9, general admission $7. All the top stars from Pro Wrestling International be there. For more information, 335-4688. But fans, the one everyone's talking about is when Pro Wrestling International is heading to the Danville Fairgrounds Community Center on Saturday, May the 6th with a 7 p.m. bell time. All doors open up at 6 p.m. The tickets are priced at $5. This is a TV taping for Wrestling Fever. Gentlemen, turn for the gold. In the main event, you'll see the one that everyone is shocked over when Gentleman Johnny Walker goes up against Bobo Brazil Jr. Also on Gentlemen Turn for the Gold, you'll see Diamond Dan and his new partner, the Flying Angel, and they'll be squaring off against Heavy Construction. Of course, everyone now knows that the Masked Assassin was, in fact, Jimmy Jack Hammer of the tag team Heavy Construction. In one-on-one competition, you'll see the Heartthrob go up against Big Rig Rollins, and also you'll see the Dice Man, Ronnie Vegas, square off against Big Cousin Bubba. Remember, that's Saturday, May the 6th at 7 p.m. in Danville, Indiana, at the Fairgrounds Community Center. All doors open up at 6 p.m. Tickets are priced at $5. This is your chance to catch a TV taping of Wrestling Fever and Pro Wrestling International live.
And now we'd like to delve a little deeper into some of the moves that we had discussed earlier at the beginning of the show. There were a few that really stood out over the past few months, especially some of the really high flyers, a lot of top rope jumps, dives here, dives there, wrestlers flying constantly. Some little less, what shall we say, strategic. Well, I don't know. There were some strategic ones, possibly your own, switching masks with your partner. There were a lot of moves that...
Who did that?
Seems to me you and your brother, as you were wrestling, one of you's in the ring, the other one's outside. You jump out, put his mask on, go back in, pin him, run
Wait a
back
minute.
out.
I never jumped out of the ring and put his mask on.
Okay.
Now, if you would want to wager a bet, we can do it right here on this television program, that I never got out of that ring and put his mask on.
You're sure?
I am positive.
Jumped out, rolled out, what's the technical
Never
word
was
for-
out of the ring. Are you sure you know what you're talking about?
I'm pretty sure.
All right, we'll find out later.
Well, on to others. There were a lot of moves. Any others that...
I think the best move was bringing my brother in from Europe, then going down to Texas and finding me another partner.
I think we're talking about wrestling moves, though.
Oh!
Any particular wrestling moves, holds, anything that caught your attention more than, as we mentioned earlier, like the Roadblock Buster. We mentioned a few by name.
The
But are there any-
Roadblock Buster.
Well, not specifically by name, but are there any particular that stand out that you remember?
My pile drivers.
I don't think I'm getting anywhere with
Nah.
him, Dave. Do you kind of sense that? It's not going anywhere with this.
Maybe I just don't understand the question.
Holds in wrestling that stand out from the past 3 or 4 months of wrestling here at PWI.
Nope. None stand out for me. I didn't have any put on me.
None at all.
I was wrestling Big Rig Rollins and Cousin Bubba for most of the past 2 or 3 months. They don't even know how to put on a hold. All they do is knock you down with either their breath or their weight.
Well, I don't know about you sometimes. Well, Dave, what about you? Did you notice any holds that...
Oh, probably one of the high flyers, so to speak, that really stood out this year was some aerial batics that we saw from the Flying Angel. And I think we've got a clip here that we can take a look at the moves that were put on by the Flying Angel. You can see the man can mix it up with the roughest of them.
Well, we haven't seen him since the tag team tournament. He's been away for a while. Understand down in the southern part of the United States.
Yeah, making quite a name for himself down there. Fans really enjoyed seeing the high-flying action of the Flying Angel there, and the professor just kind of bouncing across the ring, the recipient of some of these scientific moves. And another quick body slam by
Is
the
he
Flying
from the
Angel.
circus?
Word has it that he does have some acrobat experience from the past there. Well-defined wrestler. As you see him going up there on the top rope, flying across beautifully. Delivered drop kick on the chest of the Professor. Off the top rope. The man's got some maneuvers, Dallas James.
Well, he is a high flyer. I have to give him that.
And the Professor asking for a timeout from the referee.
Now, what do you think he'd do against me or the bounty hunter?
Well, I don't know. He would definitely keep you moving, Dallas
Yeah,
James.
he might keep us moving, but at 210 pounds, the big bounty hunter could catch him coming off the top rope.
Well, we'll see what happens. Oh, the Professor caught him there. As well, a mistake there, Dallas
Back
James.
that up. I want to see that again.
A mistake there. The Flying Angel took his eye off his wrestler, taking it for granted that he was still down. As you know, you don't take your opponent for granted. You need to keep a watchful eye as you're setting up
Tell the truck to back that up. Now we've got it on tape. Back it up. I want to see that again.
Well, the Professor finally showing his colors here in this match. Besides the red welts going across his back from the pounding. And there you see the strength being
Professor, turn
demonstrated
around.
by the Flying Angel there. Up on the back. What a move! Dallas James, have you seen it ever? Well applied there by the Flying Angel.
Well, he may have got the 3 count, but it looks like he's going to get the beating now.
The Flying Angel, victorious here. Well, fans, now it's time to take a look at one topic that may not sit well with some of us here on the panel today, but this is the cheapest victory.
What?
The cheapest victory achieved here in the PWI this year. And this is...
Oh, I understand now why it's not going to set well. We're going to see when those 2 big blimps put the hoods on and called themselves Batman and Robin. That was cheap. I agree. Couldn't even...
That's what he's talking about.
What?
That's not what I'm talking about here, Dallas. The match I'm talking about has to do with how one team achieved the tag team titles.
That's what I just said.
No,
Batman and Robin, Bubba and Rig, or Gump and Big Pig.
Possibly the other team. Do you remember who they were wrestling against? I think that's more who he's talking about.
Let's see now. Cousin Bubba and Big Rig Rollins at the time were wrestling me and the Bounty Hunter.
No, not this match.
No?
No, not the one
No,
I
you
think
got to go back a little bit further into history, but it's kind of a double-edged sword here in that this cheap victory was attained by a cheap entrance into the tag team tournament. There was a tag team that was set to wrestle in the final round of the tag team tournament, and somebody came along and bought out the rights. Now, it wasn't cheap for some man's pocketbook, and that some man is international playboy Johnny Lee. He came in and bought the rights to the final round of the tag team tournament and bought that from superstar TJ Power. We had the Shadow Ninja and the Professor. They had achieved their rightful place to wrestle in the tag team tournament final bout, and superstar TJ Powers sold
What is
out.
so cheap about that?
It wasn't cheap, as I said, for Johnny Lee, but we know how Johnny Lee works, and we know what Johnny Lee's after. He was after the belt, and he bought the rights to that match for the tag team of
Western Justice.
Western. I won't say it, say I wouldn't.
Western Justice.
And Western Justice
What is cheap about that?
is made up of the team of,
Well, it was my brother and I.
and your brother at that time was wrestling under the pseudonym.
What is this? Is this 20 questions?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm
Am
talking
I missing
about
something here?
Austin James,
know.
the Lone Ranger, and his brother Dallas, when their manager, Johnny Lee, bought their way into the final round of the tag team tournament to get him the match that brought him the title.
Now, wait a minute. What are you saying is cheap about that?
The way it was attained. First of all, you had another team work its way up, get to the final round, And then, lo and behold, money buys him right in. Johnny Lee steps in to the PWI.
All right, but did they not have the option of saying no? Obviously, they didn't care.
Well,
We didn't go in there and steal the titles. We had to defeat the good old boys, and we defeated them. 1, 2, 3, in the middle of the ring. There was no mask switched outside the ring, and if we're going to look at that match, as I said earlier, I'll bet you any amount of jelly beans you want to bet that that mask did not come off outside that ring.
Is that what you're counting with these days, jelly beans? Well, you're right. You know, as we look back at the tape, it did not come out outside the ring. It was inside the ring.
And you never see me put it on.
The fans who were there saw.
Oh, what's the simpletons know?
Well, why don't we go ahead and Dallas is getting a little upset here. Maybe he can kind of calm down as this jogs his memory a little.
What is transpiring right now? What is Johnny Lee got up his sleeve here? The Playboy, the superstar. What is
First of all,
transpiring
shut
in
up,
front of us
geeks.
here?
I have just bought the rights to this match.
What?
It took 10 grand to do it, but now I'm introducing the team that'll face these goofs from Texas, the new and improved soon-to-be PWI Tag Team Champions.
What is happening here? Johnny Lee has bought his rights into this match and is bringing in a new team. Who is this? Who is this new team? Johnny Lee waltzes in here, buys out the counter. The Lone Ranger.
Match.
I cannot believe this. Dallas James. Cowboy hat, the duster. Where is the robe?
This contest is still for
I
the
cannot believe what I'm
PWI
seeing.
World Tag Team
First
Championship.
Johnny Lee, now
A strange
Austin,
turn.
the Lone Ranger, whomever, on the outside. The match is going on the outside as well. Who is this out here now? Again, another masked wrestler making his way on the outside, interfering in here. It seems that there's the mask off. The mask has come off. That's Austin James on the outside. Dallas James has put the mask on the inside, gone in, and covered the man on the inside. Oblivious, the referee unaware of what has happened. Dallas James has taken the mask off Austin James on the outside, gone inside and pinned. Referee giving him the 3 count, and it looks like the referee is going to award them the title. In here, gentleman Johnny Walker trying to straighten things out. I hope the referee listens fast, or we're going to see the belts go over to the team under Playboy Johnny Lee. What is going to...
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the PWI World Tag Team Championship competition, the PWI World Tag Team new champions, Dallas and Austin, the James Boys.
Even besides the protests and gentleman Johnny coming in here trying to tell the referee what had transpired, referee is awarding this. I cannot believe that, first of all, how this match came to be tonight, and now this team is the champions. Johnny Lee has another tag team champion. He has more heavyweight medal around the waist of his wrestling.
Fans, don't miss out on your chance to see Pro Wrestling International live when it heads to Beach Grove at 1402 East Southern Avenue on Friday, May the 5th with a 7:30 p.m. bell time at the Benedictine Center. This a fundraiser for the Hispanic Center Cinco de Mayo Slamabration. Will take place again Friday, May the 5th at 7:30 p.m. Ringside tickets are priced at $9, general admission $7. An outstanding event. For more information, call us at the PWI hotline at 335-4688. And if your group or club is looking for an outstanding way to raise money or thinking about sponsoring a fundraising event, write to us here at Pro Wrestling International, 3416 South Post Road, Suite 202, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46239. And you too can see your event here on Wrestling Fever. Now, fans, the one that everyone's talking about takes place Saturday, May the 6th at 7 p.m. when Pro Wrestling International hits the road to Danville, Indiana at the Fairgrounds Community Center. All doors open up at 6 p.m. Tickets are priced at $5. This a TV taping for PWI Wrestling Fever. Gentlemen Turn for the Gold features the shocker that everyone's talking about. Bobo Brazil Jr. will defend that title against Gentleman Johnny Walker. Of course, it's all known now. Gentleman Johnny Walker, the fourth ace, and the man that was hounding Bobo Brazil Jr. throughout the country. Walker says he never lost the title, and he intends to get it back on this particular evening. Also on Gentleman Turn for the Gold, the PWI Tag Team Championship will be up for grabs when Dallas James and his intern partner, Blackjack Colt, defend against the dynamic duo of Quicksilver and Billy Joe Eaton. Don't forget that Saturday, May the 6th at 7 p.m. when Pro Wrestling International heads to Danville, Indiana at the Fairgrounds Community Center. This is your chance to see Pro Wrestling International live. Now, fans, don't forget about the Pro Wrestling International hotline to keep up on all the latest here in the PWI. Dial us at 317-335-HOTT.
There have been a lot of surprises taking place here at PWI. For instance, we've seen the entrance of Johnny Lee as a manager here in PWI. We've seen a lot of new wrestlers coming into the organization. For instance, Heavy Construction, not to mention many others. A lot of different types of activities that we wouldn't really expect. You know, changes as far as outfits, different attire, different masks that people have worn, different wrestlers teaming up with managers and other wrestlers. You know, for instance, the team of Quicksilver, Billy Joe Eaton, for a while when Diamond Dan was out, that was a surprise.
Eaton Fire.
As you so called it, exactly.
I'm still waiting for Fire and Rice.
And we're waiting to fire you, Dallas. But speaking of Dallas, another one, you know, you went from your purple feathers to now the cowboy, you know, the wild Texan look.
Purple?
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
It was kind of a...
Wait a minute. I think you need these.
No, glasses don't change.
Black and white is what I wore.
Seems like it had some purple writing on it.
Nope. Black and white. It was silver.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of the heartthrob.
Oh, you know, you could get.
And look at this surprise on your finger.
Yeah.
Almost got married to the three.
Who?
Is that what it is?
Got married?
To the other three aces? That's on your wedding finger. Well,
Wedding finger.
Isn't that the finger that you wear your wedding on?
I don't know.
That's the way most people do it.
It's ring finger.
But nothing surprises me from you, Dallas. But as we were talking about surprises, I think the one that our fans probably enjoyed the most and really got a kick out of would be the entrance of Batman and Robin into wrestling.
Oh, that was just terrific.
You know, I'm sure you remember that quite well, Dallas.
That was terrific.
Where you agreed to wrestle any team that would come before you, and you drew your names out of the hat.
Well, I'm not going to let it worry me because
Robin.
right now I'm one half of the champions, and that silly commissioner, he's gone. So, why worry about it? But that Batman and Robin thing, that just shows how low. They should have got the cheap victory because that was cheap. Couldn't even come out and say who they are. They got to go under Batman and Robin.
I don't know if those guys can really go undercover where no one recognized them, but let's take a look here at Batman and Robin and see if we do recognize the true men beneath those masks.
Gonna defend their title.
The real deal. Pull out our opponents.
Here we have the team.
Batman and Robin?
Batman
Who
and
is
Robin.
Batman and Robin?
Who's Batman and Robin?
I don't know. Who is Batman and Robin?
They have pulled the
I don't
name.
care who they are. Right here, right now, we'll put the belts on the line because I'm not getting stripped of these belts. There's no team in PWI that can take out the James boys. Bring them on. Bring them on. Right now.
You heard it. The Cape Crusaders themselves
against the James Boys.
And right now, the James Boys are making good on the commissioner's demand to meet somebody in the ring. And here this is Batman and Robin. Boy, as Dallas James got it in store for him today. He said he wasn't going to wrestle Rollins and Cousin Bubba.
Big Farmers, that's Big Rig Rollins and Cousin Bubba. I'm not wrestling them. It's supposed to be Batman and Robin. They can't wrestle us no more. Another shot. They don't get another shot. No.
It looks like Batman and Robin to me, guys. They don't get another shot. Well, this isn't Rollins and Bubba. This is Batman and Robin. Looks like this team wasn't talking to Commissioner Sandor. They were talking to Commissioner Gordon, and they brought him in from Gotham City, the team of Batman and Robin there. They've won the draw, the pick from the hat.
Me pulled out the hat. You've got to wrestle.
There you hear Richard Crow telling them.
You have to wrestle Batman
and
Robin.
They made their bed now. They got to sleep in it. PWI fans, we're in for a big one now.
If you don't wrestle,
looks like we're going to shove aside that match of the Bounty Hunter and Lightning Rod to see the defense of the PWI Tag Team Championship. Last week you saw it. Well, you can just listen to Dallas James out there. Look at him go crazy. Boy, does this do my heart good to see this happen.
Now, fans, it's time to look at the big match so far this year. And it has to go back at all times to our defending champion, the man who has put the belt on the line and faced all oncomers, and that is Bobo Brazil Jr. You could really run them down because they're all feature matches, main events. Bobo taking on superstar TJ Power. He's defended against the Bounty Hunter, Dallas's partner. He's defended against the Dice Man. I remember seeing Dice Man in a match in St. Louis. Man, it was a brutal match. Just Bobo just barely getting out with the famous headbutt, being able to pull out the title there. But time after time, Bobo has defended the title here in the PWI, been willing to take on all comers until this last match that we're going to be looking at here, probably the most brutal and the one that caught Bobo most by surprise, was when one of our co-hosts here and his cohorts, the Four Aces, all came out during the title match and surrounded the ring. Dallas, could you maybe help us recapture this memory before we go to this on tape?
You know, I'm not sure I agree with you when you say he is constantly, or whatever that word was, defending that title. Now, granted, he is defending the title time in and time out.
He's a
again and again
champion.
and again and again. I'll give him that. But how many times has he faced these opponents? He's wrestled the Bounty Hunter. He's wrestled TJ. He's wrestled the Snake Man. He's wrestled El Diablo. He's wrestled Heartthrob. Just to name a few. But has he wrestled them 2 or 3 times? Has he gave them a rematch? Did he give Gentleman Johnny Walker a rematch? Walker never did lose that title, had it stripped from him. Did he offer him a rematch? No. When he defeated me when the title was vacant in January, did he give me a rematch? No. Nowhere to be found was Bobo Brazil Jr. Now, I'm not up here crying about it. I'm telling the facts. And I went ahead and became the tag team champion. And soon thereafter, Bobo reappears. And I remember on this program, his first comments when he was to meet TJ Powers, all of a sudden he's talking about Dallas James. I'll give you that rematch. That's a little late now, pal. But yes, I remember that. He was wrestling the Ninja, and all 4 of us, 5 of us, maybe 6 of us with Lady Luck, come out and just paid him a visit. Put a little pressure on. Yeah, I want to see this because it was nice to see the concern in his eyes because he was definitely concerned. And he better be concerned here. Coming up very soon in Gentlemen Turn for the Gold, because the 4 aces are going to play with the Joker.
Let's take a look at Bobo Brazil Jr. versus the Ninja.
Takes Bobo Brazil Jr. back to the canvas. Kick to the back of the neck of Jr. Ninja maintaining the upper hand at this point. Works Bobo into the corner. Karate shot to the stomach. Sends him to the turnbuckle. And here he comes flying over. Vicious elbow into the chest. Puts Bobo back down on the ring apron there. To the canvas. Bobo down. The Ninja having a cover, but Bobo's feet are definitely outside the ropes here, and gets, well, the referee called for a break, but has not totally gotten the Ninja to disconnect there, and it looks like the referee's not going to follow up on the rules here. Bobo's going to have to work it up on his own. Not getting any breaks from the referee. And again, the Ninja working away at the carotid artery of Bobo Brazil. And Bobo Jr. working his way back up. Again, drives that elbow into the stomach. Again, forceful blast, breaks the hold of the Ninja, who misses. Now, look at this. What is this? Is this what Dallas needed to go back to the back? He needed to leave so he could come taunt, come interfere with Bobo Brazil Jr. You know, the referee is still being distracted. Bobo Brazil Jr. still distracted. And there you saw him caught off guard as the professor getting in the way. Series of blows there by the Shadow Ninja. Again, aggressively attacks with the martial arts, and there you see him. There you see him. Johnny Lee, 3 of his aces, and this has got to be this Lady Luck that we were talking about, that we heard about earlier. This has got to be her. But there you see the champion. I think he is ready. It looks like he is ready to bring an end to the distractions and put this title defense to rest. I think he's ready to set things straight with the Ninja. Beautiful belly-to-belly suplex. Takes him over there. Almost a 3 count. Did not quite get him down there. But I think Bobo's ready to take control after all those distractions and delivering the weapon of choice of Bobo Brazil Jr., the patented headbutt, the flying headbutt there. I don't see how the Ninja's going to get out of that one. He's got the leg, he's got the 3 count, he has got the title, and he delivers one on the Professor. I'd like to see him line up the 4 aces and him deliver right there.
And you can see there what an excellent wrestler Bobo Brazil was and still is. Fans, we hope you've enjoyed our look back, our winner review, but now we'd like to take you for next week's show. Some of the upcoming events you'll see featuring the Good Old Boys, you'll see T-Rex.
I may not be here next week.
You know, I don't think you are on the card for next week, are you?
Wait a minute, is that matches or being here? All right, I got a contract to be here.
That's right. What a shame. But well, who else is going to be there? What do you have planned for classics? Is that?
Well, I think the Kangaroos are our classics next week, and we show them up against the Miller Brothers. Okay. Should be an outstanding matchup.
Great match.
Throughout the time that Dave and I have been working with you, we've both noticed kind of a common feature, and we'd like to present you with this award.
I get an award. What award?
The Woodsy Award.
The Woodsy Award.
The Woodsy Award. We felt
Shall I even dare ask?
You know, rather than asking, why don't you just take a look at the monitor and you'll see exactly what this award represents. Up against Big Rig Rollins. The good, I'm sure you're familiar with. Dr. The Heart Brooks. Are you familiar? Bad Medicine. Fans, that's it for this week, but we'll see you again next week for Wrestling Fever.
Woodsy Award.
No. She could hardly breathe. No.